Hi, my name's Jeffrey Rein. I'm currently from Yuma, Arizona. I lived my entire life in the Pacific Northwest, where I've been flying combat competitively since I was 15 years old, so that's about 49 years. And I fly combat because there's nothing like it. It's just the most exciting thing for me to do, so that's why I do it. And we're here at the Nationals. They're going to have, I think it's 6 different competitions. Today is the finals of the F2D Combat, which is the international version of combat, where they use 15 size engines. Most of them come from the Ukraine. Actually, most of the airplanes come from the Ukraine too. Today's competition is F2D Combat. It's the international version. There have quite a bit of rules that are different than what the AMA rules are, but basically combat is combat. The only difference is in AMA combat we go for the kill, which we tow our targets behind our airplanes with string, and you get points for cutting the streamer material. But in an AMA combat, if you cut the string, it's like a knockout in boxing, and you win the match. In the international version F2D, it's not that way. You only get points for airtime and cutting the streamer. So it was actually a very good match between 2 well-seasoned pilots, Richard Stubblefield and George Cleveland, who happen to also be partners. So they know each other real well. And as they were going through the match, George got one cut, which put him ahead on points, and then about 30 seconds later, Richard Stubblefield went and cut off all of George's streamer, which then evened the match. Unfortunately, that also meant there was no more target to go for. So basically, the person who still was towing the streamer could only run and hide because he had a target that the opponent was trying to get, and the other guy didn't have a target to shoot for. Well, then there was a collision, and they both came down. At that point there, what you do is you grab the streamer off of your primary airplane, and you remove it and take it and attach it to your secondary airplane, and you're allowed to go back up with the secondary airplane during the 4-minute match period, which is what Richard Stubblefield successfully did, and George Cleveland was unable to get his secondary airplane in the air. And since it was a cut apiece, I believe that unless something happened that I didn't see, then Richard Stubblefield probably won that match due to airtime. Like I say, I've been doing this since I was 15, and I got out of it for 13 years, I think. It was the worst years of my life. I mean, I've done motorcycles and race cars, and most everybody here has also done other adrenaline pumping things. But we all seem to come back to control line combat because still there's nothing else like it on the planet. It's kind of like boxing, but you don't get a bloody nose, you know. And most of the people here are geriatric because we've been doing this since the 60s, or some of them even since the 50s. But it was very, very popular in the 50s or in the 60s and 70s, and that's why we're still doing it, because there's nothing else like it.
My name is Wil Hinton. I've judged the Nats in scale now for, this is probably my 6th year to do that, and I enjoy it because you see such unique airplanes and such devoted flyers, you know, so it's really a lot of fun, very rewarding. Now, my real history is in stunt. I've flown stunt at the Nats for 100 years. You know, today was scale heaven because the weather was just absolutely perfect, and the competition was great. It was great. Some good airplanes, some good flying, and a lot of camaraderie, which is the main thing about the whole thing anyway. What's next? Well, I'm going up to the old pad and watch some stunt. I'm going over here to the intermediate and beginner and watch some stunt, and then I'm appearance judging for stunt tomorrow. So it's not over yet, but the fun isn't over anytime. I've been doing this since 1948. It's a hobby that I think is absolutely necessary because airlines are having a hard time getting pilots, and this is where they come from for a big part of it. I have a history in full-scale aviation myself as flight instructor and a crop duster, and I just think that if this ever dies out, it'll be a crying shame.
Hi, my name is Mike Condon. I'm Contest Director of the United States AMA Pylon Nationals. It's about a week-long event. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I've kind of always enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a good time. Everybody enjoys themselves. Event's going great. I mean, like I said, I've been it long enough. I've got a few key people working with me. I've got 16, 18 workers that live in Muncie, and they work with me, so everything's going good. I don't have too many problems. The only thing I can't control is the weather.
What's it take to be a contest director in an event?
Well, you have to pass it. You have to pass a test. There's certain rules that are associated with what's going on here, and before they allow anybody to be in charge, they want to know that they can administer the right rules that are laid out by AMA. So a lot of these guys, they see each other throughout the course of the year, but this seems to be the one place where they all come together. They're enjoying themselves, they're having a great time, and it's kind of what keeps the hobby going. AMA's support of it, what they do for these guys when they're out here is second to none. So, it's something everybody enjoys, and so do I. So, see you next year.